I already love it. Hello guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome to our primary bedroom, which is our next big project that we're going to be working on. I'm really excited. It's definitely going to be multiple parts because I have a lot of ideas and I've been itching to do a project again in my own home, in my own style, adding all the details and the moodiness and the warmth and the character that I love in all of my spaces that I do. So since moving into this house in January, we have tackled some spaces. Front room, the entryway, and the living room, and it came out so beautifully. Because that room doesn't get a ton of sunlight, I kept the walls on the warmer, neutral, lighter side, but really warmed up the space with stripping the beams and staining them the original color again, bringing in furniture and warmth and detail on the staircase, and really just adding the character back to a space that I felt like was stripped of it. And then we moved into our primary bathroom, which was an amazing project for me because I love doing DIY projects and really attainable projects for people that don't do major reno or without spending a ton of money. So this space was so much fun. We added the flooring to break up all the white tile. We painted the cabinets to look wood again, which is such a cool technique. I love that DIY. We did the same thing on the beams to add the warmth. We painted it. We swapped out some fixtures and stuff. All super attainable, easy DIYs to do to really elevate the space. So since we did our bathroom in here already, which was our ensuite, I figured why not move into our primary bedroom, really bring it to life the way that I had envisioned when we moved in. So I've always wanted to paint this room darker because this room gets tons of natural sunlight. It is one of the brightest rooms in the entire house because we have two skylights that are in the ceiling. And since this room gets so much light, I think we can afford to go darker on the walls as well and really break up all the stark white. We have all the pretty upper windows that look over the garden. And we have one beam in here that is original, that is real wood, that we need to strip back to its original state so that we can stain it the same color so it's really cohesive throughout the entire house. Okay, let's talk inspiration because I do have a lot of ideas on what I could potentially incorporate into here. Wall treatments like moldings and things that which I've been wanting to do in a space for a while. And obviously stripping the beams and the carpet in here definitely has to go because the previous owner had dogs and you can just tell where it's been like more deeply bleached cleaned. We need to take it up and we have brick floors. Fingers crossed, that's what they told us. We have brick floors underneath here as well. So I start every makeover project just by looking and finding spaces that I really love. And it might not be a complete picture of what I want to do, but maybe there's one or two things in a photo or in a room that I really like. Our style of our home is French Provincial. So let's say French Provincial moody bedroom. Oh, I already love it. I already love it. Some of these spaces definitely have lighter walls, but some have darker walls, like this one has green, which I have been toying with, but I want to make sure anything that I do looks really good with the brick flooring because that's not something that we're changing. And the warm wood on the beam, because that's also something we need to keep cohesive throughout the house. I also was thinking like maybe pulling some inspiration from our kitchen cabinets, which is more of an aubergine color. That would be a similar color to the flooring, so I don't know if I want to do that in the whole room. This room has always inspired me. This is actually from Chris Loves Julia. In this picture, it looks more like deep green brown, but really it's a brown bedroom. Some people have a love-hate relationship with brown. I happen to love brown, but I know why people are like, I would never like paint a wall brown, but I mean, it does look really pretty in her bedroom. I love it with the black nightstands as well because that's also what we have in here, the new ones that we got. See a lot of like textured walls, like a lime wash or more of like a Venetian plaster type look, but I don't think I want to do that kind of wall texture. Like, does that look black to you guys? Like black? I don't know if I could do black walls. That may be a little bit daring. Oh my gosh, this is also so pretty. That's black, but like with brown trim work or something. Okay, here is red. Oh, that's more wallpaper, but there's like a red I also don't think that I could do red. I think I would have to do more purple, more aubergine than red. This is more of like a mossy green, which is really pretty. I think that's the color, more of the color of like the stain that we're gonna be doing on the beams too. So it would be, you know, really complementing and stuff. I'm gonna save all of these inspiration pictures and I'm gonna put a mood board on the screen so you can kind of see the direction that I'm thinking we're gonna go and test some things out. Overall, we're still gonna go with that French provincial, or my take on it at least. Really warm up the space and cut through all the white walls, bring some interest to the walls by adding the wall detail, and see how this space all comes together. Okay, so step one, we're gonna clean it all out so we can get a clean space. You can't be in here either. We're taking it out. It looks like we're moving out. It feels weird. We're gonna start.
So much more space.
We're gonna start by putting the citrus strip on the beam. This is what we did when we did it in the main room. Realize and understand the concept of scoring the paint first. It's kind of like going to get your nails done when you have gel nails. If you've ever done gel and they rough up the top of your nail and then add the polish remover, you know, the acetone, and they wrap it, it helps the citrus strip or the strippers penetrate where the paint is. I've never had good success doing that because I never have something abrasive enough to actually rough something up. Sanding it doesn't really do it. I don't know. I've never had much luck, but going straight to this and just doing 2 coats seems to have worked. So if you also struggle with that, don't worry, you just do 2 coats. This also is not stinky. It smells like oranges. Remember, it's good to use inside. What we're gonna do is paint this on with a paintbrush, pretty thick, and cover it with saran wrap so that it stays really wet while we wait for it to like do its magic. We're gonna leave it overnight. So we just wanna get that percolating up there while we work on the carpet. Okay, now that we have that on, that is gonna sit overnight. We had one side of one beam in that room that just like came off so easily. Yeah. We're fingers crossed that it's gonna be an easy process, but yeah. I mean, we'll see by tomorrow. I kind of see it starting to pick up the paint already.
Do you?
Yeah, right here.
Oh yeah, I see it. It's like bubbling, right? And
this looks thinner than we had before, like a thinner coat of paint. Like there's not like layers and layers.
Oh yeah.
Right?
It looks like it's like bubbling up a lot over here.
That's really promising. That does that. We're gonna take out the carpet. Romeo already tested it. He couldn't wait. He sliced it open.
I got excited.
But we definitely know that there is brick, so that is a really good sign.
Oh wow. Oh wow.
That's how they attached it.
Oh. Oh wow, that's okay.
Picking up carpets so much easier than people imagine. Okay, so the bedroom is looking so good. Finally getting to the point where we're stripping away those elements that we don't want. The paint on the beams, the carpet. I got all the like braces for the carpet up. And after we picked up the carpet, I noticed specifically on the wall behind the bed, where the bed goes below the windows, there's like a gap between the wall and the brick. I'm not sure why, other than maybe that wall was done again after the carpet was already down or something. There's a gap. That kind of triggered my mind to be like, okay, maybe we need baseboards. Maybe that's gonna be adding that trim, that look that I really wanted. So it's actually a good thing, actually like a good design decision. So I went to the hardware store and picked up some baseboards. I really liked this profile because it was the closest to the baseboards that we have in the formal living room. And everywhere in the house where we have hardwood, we have baseboards. But where we have brick, we don't. And it's just like, it feels like a little bit disjointed, like it's two separate houses, honestly. It's something I'd like to consciously kind of change over time and add the baseboards where I can. So this was the closest profile I could get from the hardware store. I really liked it. It's just super simple and it's not very thick. It's about 3 inches. Obviously done a lot of baseboard and crown molding work at the cottage. And I've learned a few things along the way. When you want to meet at a 90-degree angle, when you have to miter cut your pieces, it can get a little hard because no wall is perfectly straight. To alleviate some stress that I have experienced in the past, I actually got some little corner pieces. Now these are about $1 to $2. You can get them in different like designs at the top. This is the one that Lowe's had, and I really liked it. It's more, they call it a colonial style, and then you can cut them to size to kind of like match the height of your baseboards. And what it does, it is eliminates you from having to need a miter cut on your baseboards. It's a lot less work. You can just cut it straight and put this in the corner and have one baseboard come and deaden into one corner and then one on the other corner. And it's like a lot easier. If you do ever use corner pieces like this, you'll see that they kind of come in 6 inches or taller because you can cut them to size. So I want the top of the baseboard to deaden to the top of this square here. I'm just gonna measure where I need to cut these. And it's looking like 3 1/4. So I think by adding the baseboards and these corner pieces, it's just gonna clean up, you know, the edges. It looks unfinished, and where that has like a nice kind of raw look to it, that's not really my style, you know, so adding the baseboards is just going to make it look more complete. So we're gonna put these in the corner. Now in between those new little corners that I put and the other corner or the casing for a door or something, I measured the exact dimensions that I needed to cut, and then I'm just gonna cut on my pieces and we're gonna install them with wood glue and also a nail gun. Oh, I love that more already. Like, way more. Okay, seriously, I love it already. It helps. It really helps. Just like make it look more finished. I think I am just gonna fill it with some caulking because I think there's only one real space that's a little bit on the larger side and I can remedy that. But instead of adding more trim and spending more money there, I can just use some caulking and we can paint it the same color. So we'll do all the perfecting work before we paint and prime. That was an added thing that I wanted to do. The original wood treatment that I wanted to do was actually put a wall treatment on the walls themselves and really box it in, making some picture frame molding. I have wanted to do that in a space for so long. So I picked up some decorative trim. It's this one. I got it from Lowe's. It was $5 a piece. And I'm really happy because I think that that was actually like a special price for these. I haven't ever found them for $5 for 8 foot. So I'm really, really excited about it. I just have to plan it really and figure out where to put it and a plan for it, I guess. Having a little bit of an issue because all of the doors in here are all at different heights. So my closet door is not really one of the decorative doors in this space like all the rest of the French doors in here. So I actually want to make this one disappear. I want to paint it all the same color. So this really isn't going to call attention, but we can do, you know, a picture frame molding above the door so that it kind of keeps it going. I don't know, that's one thing. So you can see that this one is this high, a little shorty door, and then this one is this high, because that part of the house is a step higher. The doors over here go into the ensuite, the bathroom, and the laundry. That's also a different height. So this leads to the living room and the rest of the house. Since these doors actually sit up off the ground, they're creating kind of a natural picture frame already. So you can see where the molding is here above where we put the new baseboards, and then it stops there. What if I just continued that shape? Like just made that height in boxes, like one box over here, you know, would be pretty. I could do one on each side and they would be skinnier. So I think the only thing that would change would be the width of them. So I need to do a little bit of drawing.
What's the angle? I'm not playing that game. It's the same business with a different name. Who's the target? Sorry, I'm not in the market. If I quit buying, you can't sell.
I did it. I literally drew on the walls because that was the way it was working best. And kind of just create my own pattern. I'm pretty much putting the boxes that I'm creating, the picture molding boxes, 5 inches from everything. So 5 inches from each other, 5 inches from the doors, you know, and then I'm just following the same height as our door, which is 78 inches, and it's 12 inches below the ceiling. So as long as I keep that consistent, I'm using that 5 inches. The measurements width-wise are changing, but I think it'll fill out the space the best. But they're all coming in around 40 inches, unless it's a skinny wall. So that makes me happy. It's like there will be consistency in the size of the picture moldings, but it'll really be custom and fit the walls. I'm gonna cut them all at a 45-degree angle at the top, and then I can move my miter saw to the other side, the other 45-degree, and then do them that way. So I'm just like being more efficient with like not having to move this every time for every piece. Okay, I got all the molding up, and it took a little bit to figure out kind of the pattern or the spacing and how many cuts I was gonna need and how many boxes I was gonna do on each wall, but I do love that it adds that much more texture. I mean, it adds a lot to the room, but it's not gonna be contrasting. Similar to color drenching when you paint all of the walls, all of the doors, everything the same color. But I think I have decided that I'm going to keep the French doors on each side of the room white and the windows white because it's consistent with the rest of the house. I'm at least going to start there. So we have to pick paint colors. So I went to the paint store and I picked up some swatches. These are the swatches that we were gravitating towards. You can tell that they're on the moodier, darker side of the color palette. I want this room to feel cohesive with the rest of the house, so complementary, but I want it to be darker. Okay, so we've had these swatches for a few days. And Romeo and I have been coming in and out of this space, just like looking at this, just the swatches, the small ones, just to feel it out. Of these colors, I got 5, and I actually got one more that I don't even have the color swatch for. But I want to start with that middle one. It is called Woodcliff Lake. This is Rustic Taupe, which is the more like warm golden color. You can tell it's a lot more like golden. This is Rural Earth, more of the brown color. I feel like it's got a little bit of the purple undertone, so it might look pretty good with the floor, but it might be all the same color. This is called Dash of Pepper. Now this one was more mossy, more green. So I wanted to see if I wanted to go that more green tone. And our last option is Fairview Taupe. Similar in tone, but lighter. Okay, so you guys comment down below which color you would do, taking into consideration the other details in the room, the brick flooring, the wood stain on the beam, and also the white trim. Which do you think is going to give us that moody color that we're really looking for? They're all moody, they're all dark, but color can really impact a space. This is gonna be the majority of what's in this room. So we really wanna make sure that it's gonna go and complement the things that we already have in the room. The day that you are watching this and it goes live is the day that I'm making my selection. So I would love for you guys to weigh in. This room is coming along. Thank you guys for watching part 1. Come back next Sunday for part 2. We are going to paint and decorate and move our new bed. We got a new bed in, the nightstands that we have. I'm going shopping at the Rose Bowl for some other decor. Really exciting. I'll see you guys next Sunday. Bye guys. My gut is still on point with where I thought I was gonna like. So I think I'm swaying towards Woodcliff. I am swaying. But they're all really pretty. They all really work.